The auction hall stank of desperation and cheap disinfectant. I stood there, all four arms crossed, watching beings get sold like defective cargo. My name is Vorthak. I run a salvage operation on the edge of Sector 9. Not glamorous, but it keeps my ship flying. Most days. Today? Today I was here because my idiot cousin owed me money and paid me with a hot tip instead. Claimed there was valuable merchandise at the Kelroth auction house. Yeah, valuable. So far, I had seen 3 Balvian miners sell for pocket change, a broken mining droid, and something that might have been a plant, or might have been someone's lunch from 2 weeks ago. The auctioneer, a greasy Falmorian with too many eyes and not enough morals, droned on in a nasal voice that made my hearing organs itch. Next item, he wheezed, slamming his gavel thing down. Specimen from Sol 3. Human. Female. Healthy. Suitable for manual labor, ship maintenance, whatever you require. The cage rolled out. That's when the room shifted. She was small. Too small. Most species here could have snapped her without effort. Yet she stood straight inside the energy cage, chin lifted, eyes locked on the crowd like we were the prisoners. Peach-colored skin. Dark, tangled hair. Sharp blue eyes. Hard to see clearly under the awful lighting. But the eyes were the problem. No fear. No pleading. Just controlled, deliberate fury. Starting bid, 5 credits. The auctioneer announced. 5 credits. That's a cheap meal and a bad drink. No one moved. She looked too fragile for labor, too slight for combat. Useless merchandise. Humans are rare this far out, the auctioneer added quickly. Exotic species. Great conversation pieces. Conversation piece. I almost laughed. 5. Someone muttered from the back. A Draxian weapons dealer I recognized. The kind who bought living things and made them stop being alive shortly after. 6, I said. The word surprised even me. Fuel costs. Repairs. Hull damage. I needed that money. The Draxian turned, all 6 eyes narrowing. 8. The human looked at me then. Just a glance. But something flickered there, not hope exactly. Awareness. Like she was measuring me. 10, I said. This was a mistake. A loud, expensive mistake. 12 credits. The Draxian growled, baring his teeth. The room went quiet. 12 credits for something no one wanted moments ago. The auctioneer practically vibrated with excitement. I should have stopped. Should have walked away. Then she looked at me again. And the message was clear, don't leave me here. 15. The Draxian hissed, then waved dismissively. Not worth it. He stormed out. Sold, the auctioneer shrieked. To the Krellix gentleman for 15 credits. 15. Ancestors help me. The cage powered down. The human stepped out, rubbing her wrists. Outside the cage, she looked even smaller, barely reaching my mid-torso. She scanned the room once, then walked straight toward me. No hesitation. You just made either the smartest or dumbest purchase of your life, she said in flawless galactic standard. Her voice was raw, used, like it had been pushed too far recently. I blinked all 3 eyes. You speak standard? 6 languages, she said flatly. I can fly most ships, repair quantum drives, and crack encryption systems that make professionals cry. So yes, you got a bargain. Now let's leave before someone realizes what you actually bought. I stared, then at the auctioneer, then back at her. What's your name? Maya. She paused. Yours? Vorthak. Salvage captain. She smiled. It wasn't friendly. It was the smile of someone who had survived long enough to plan revenge. Good, she said, because I have a job for you. A big one. And if you listen carefully, we're both about to get very rich. I should have walked away. I didn't. And that mistake? That mistake changed everything. My ship, the Rustwing, looked exactly like its name suggested. Patches upon patches, mismatched hull plating, and an engine that coughed more than it hummed. But she flew, and that was what mattered. Maya walked up the boarding ramp without waiting for an invitation, looking around like she was appraising real estate. This is a disaster, she said cheerfully. This is paid for. I shot back, defensive. Mostly. She ran a hand along the corridor wall, and a panel immediately fell off. We both stared at it. Okay, I admitted. She needs work. She needs a miracle, Maya corrected. But she was already moving toward the cockpit, her feet making soft padding sounds on the metal floor. How long have you been running salvage? 15 cycles, I said, following her. Why? She dropped into my co-pilot seat like she owned it, fingers already dancing across the navigation console. Because in 15 cycles, you should be rich. Salvage in Sector 9? There are derelict ships everywhere. Old war zones, abandoned stations. You should be swimming in credits. I felt my neck ridges flush purple. Embarrassment. Yeah, well, overhead is high. Fuel costs, docking fees, repairs. Bribes? She asked, not looking up. How did you? Because I've been watching the Sector 9 economy for 2 years while I was stuck in that facility, she said, pulling up a star map I didn't even know my system could display. Every salvage operator out here is paying protection money to the Krell Syndicate. 30% off the top. Am I right? I said nothing, which was answer enough. She finally looked at me, those blue eyes sharp. The Krell Syndicate is sitting on something big. Something they found 3 months ago in the Varys Nebula. A derelict colony ship from the old expansion. Pre-war. Do you know what that means? Old junk. I guessed. She laughed. Actually laughed. It was a harsh sound, like she had forgotten how. Old junk worth more than this entire sector, she said. Tech that hasn't been manufactured in 200 years. Navigation systems, weapons, maybe even functional cryo units. The Syndicate has been keeping it quiet, stripping it piece by piece, selling parts on the black market for insane profits. I felt my pulse quicken. How do you know this? Because I was the one who found it, Maya said quietly. I was working navigation for a survey team. We stumbled onto the coordinates by accident. I was stupid enough to log it officially. The Syndicate grabbed me before I could report to anyone else, wiped the records, and sold me off to cover their tracks. They thought I'd end up in some mining colony on the other side of the galaxy. She turned back to the console, fingers flying. They didn't count on someone buying me for 15 credits and actually listening. My brain struggled to catch up. So you want to steal from the Krell Syndicate? The same people who disappeared the last 3 crews that crossed them. Not steal, she corrected. Reclaim. That ship is technically abandoned property. Galactic salvage law says whoever files the claim first owns it. And I still have the original coordinates memorized. They never thought to ask what was in my head before they sold me. She pulled up a route on the screen. 3 days travel. We slip in, plant a legal beacon, file the claim with the sector authority, and it's ours. 50-50 split. You get enough credits to finally fix this rust bucket, and I get enough to disappear somewhere the Syndicate will never find me. It was insane. Completely insane. The Krell Syndicate didn't just kill people who crossed them. They made examples. Creative, horrifying examples. But I looked at my ship, at my account balance, which currently held less than I'd paid for the humans standing in front of me. At my life, scraping by and paying tribute to gangsters. If we die, I said slowly, I'm blaming you. Maya grinned. A real grin this time. If we die, you can complain all you want. Deal. Deal. She jumped up, suddenly full of energy. Then we leave now. Before anyone connects the dots. Plot a course for the Varys Nebula, indirect route. I'll start working on your security systems, because right now a toddler could hack this ship. I don't even know what a toddler is, I muttered, already moving to the pilot seat and firing up the engines. As the rust wing shuddered to life and lifted off from the station, Maya was humming something. A human song, I guessed. She looked almost happy. Hey, Vorthak, she called from where she was elbow deep in my security panel. Yeah. Thanks. For the 15 credits. For listening. For not being like the others. I grunted, focusing on the departure vector. Don't thank me yet. We might both regret this. Maybe, she said, but at least we'll regret it rich. The stars stretched ahead of us as we jumped to hyperspace. 3 days to either the biggest score of my life or the stupidest death in Sector 9 history. I had bought her freedom for 12 credits. Well, 15. Math was never my strength. But Maya? Maya might just be worth a whole lot more than that. Maybe even worth a planet. We'd find out soon enough. If this story entertained or taught you something, please like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us grow and bring you more stories like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next story.